Hey everyone, welcome back. This video is part 2 of a series of videos really sharing some of the do's and don'ts to help a loved one through pregnancy loss. And I should maybe make a joke. We are wearing the same clothes because it's the same day.
So another big one is don't pretend the loss didn't happen. So, I mean, obviously, unless the couple wishes to, pretend that it didn't happen. But most, couples don't want to pretend it didn't happen. They, want you to mention their baby's name. So for us, we named our son Drayton. It brings me joy when people use the name Drayton. Also, it's important to, acknowledge certain dates. So, remember the day the loss occurred. And then also if you, were close to your loved one, which I hope you were, you would know, the due date, and just remember that day and reach out, to your loved one on that day and say, hey, I'm thinking about you or anything like that. Also, the first Mother's Day is a big one. Obviously, a lot of emotions and feelings are happening that day, and knowing that your family members care and acknowledge one, that you are a mom, but most importantly that they acknowledge your child, because I think at the end of the day that's what we care about. I don't need people to pity me or to say, oh, you're a mom. I just want people to recognize that my little boy, he lived, he was a little being. We have his little footprints, he wasn't just nothing. So just, don't pretend the loss didn't happen, acknowledge it.
Also, don't try and rush the grieving process. Everybody, I've mentioned this in multiple videos, but everybody grieves differently. I grieve in a way that basically I want to throw myself into something else just to kind of keep myself busy. Natalie is more of kind of the withdrawn griever. And one of the things that, and I acknowledge this, I pushed her way too fast. I tried, way too hard, too fast. I tried to get her to come out to the grocery stores and things like that. Basically what would happen is she would break down. Obviously, again, everybody grieves differently, but make sure that you kind of follow everybody's cues or anybody's cues that's in this situation, not just for pregnancy loss, but in any situation where somebody's grieving, and recognize that it's going to take some time to recover, obviously. And it really took a professional, I think, well, she definitely was a professional, to make me realize that I had pushed Natalie a little too hard. And that was at Kindermorn, which we've mentioned in the past. When we finally did go there, that really helped both of us. One, it helped me put some things in perspective. I think it helped Natalie just kind of overcome some of the thoughts in general. But again, everybody's going to do this at their own pace. If somebody's got a hobby or something like that, you might see them go out and do that just because it keeps their mind on something else. But just kind of pay attention to what they need and when they need it.
Yeah, and so how Ari mentioned, Kindermorn. So I, will always remember our first visit with Kindermorn. It was a month after our loss, and I remember, just feeling so down, and just, I felt like I was weak, and I felt, because everyone was pushing me and expected me to essentially get over it and, be fine. And I remember she kind of looked at me and she said, it's only been a month. And she was the only one, who's used the term it's only, where everyone else, was kind of like, it's been a day, it's been a week, it's been 2 weeks, it's been a month. Where she said, it's all it's been, it's just been a month, why are you so hard on yourself? So, let your loved one grieve. And then also, just recognize that it's something, they're going to deal with the rest of their lives. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to isolate myself, and I've gotten a lot better.
She cried at dinner tonight, though, so.
I've gotten, a lot better, especially since, we have our little rainbow baby Paxton. But it's something I'm always going to know and remember. And, I mentioned this before, remember important dates. I'm always going to remember, the day we find out. I'm always going to have ingrained, the due date and, all the ultrasound appointments that I had with Drayton, just because all that's stuck in my head. And so don't expect, anyone to ever, forget. So let them grieve, and, even if it's been 10 years and, the anniversary of the death date comes around, just be okay with that. You know, don't say, oh my gosh, it's been 10 years, why are you still crying? And then the last point that I want to mention today is don't expect, you know, upcoming holidays or family gatherings, you know, to look the same. Kind of let the couple choose whether they want to come or, you know, whether they want to sit it out. I know for us, we lost Drayton right before Christmas, right before my birthday and Thanksgiving, and then obviously the Christmas holidays. So, you know, obviously we had plans, you know, for all of those, but we didn't partake in anything. We didn't even get a Christmas tree that year. I mean, we did not celebrate anything, and it was actually, you know, for me, since it happened right before my birthday, I know that afterwards I went to so many doctor's appointments, and you always have to write down, you know, your age, and, and it was as if I never turned that age, because, you know, I turned 28, and for me, it was just as if I skipped, you know, that. So for me, I'm always like, oh, I'm 27, but then I was like, oh no, I just kind of skipped that entire year. We skipped everything, so it was kind of just a year we jumped over. But anyways, so yeah, so don't expect, you know, everything to be the same. You know, they may need to sit holidays out, and it might just look a little bit different.
But thanks again for joining. So we'll have another one coming up, but let us know in the comments below if you feel like we've missed anything, or also if you've experienced something like this and somebody was able to really kind of bring the memory of your little one in somehow. I think that those are really helpful to share, because again, those can be things that that loved ones can kind of employ. So thanks again, and until next time.